So, have you been looking for really cool, sustainable ways to fund your art business? Are you in a space right now because it's the holiday season and all of the grant cycles have ended, funds are dried up, or are postponed until next year, and you're just legit looking to move work from your studio space or basement or attic, etc.? I know. I've been there. It's a real thing. So if you are someone who creates for a living and you've identified that the fourth quarter of each year is one of the toughest times of the year for an artist, for a creative, then you need to register for my new workshop, Funding Your Creative Business. We're going to talk about how you can actually be aware of the seasons of creative business, how you can plan effectively to ensure that you actually have resources, have money, have supplies to do your work in third and fourth quarter of the year when it's the toughest. We'll also talk about creative ways for you to connect with people who are actually offering funds so that you can position yourself for abundance and for really strong partnerships through your work in the year ahead. A lot of people kind of take this time off, not because they want to, just because they don't have any funds coming in, any resources. People aren't moving work. And quite frankly, when people look to buy holiday presents, unless you have really strong collectors in your collector base, most people go to big box stores, they go online. They don't necessarily think, I need to support a small business owner, I need to support an artist, I need to go into a shop, I want something handmade. If you have people in your circle, network, collector base that is doing that, then like, honey, love on them, celebrate them, give them words of encouragement, let them know how much they mean to you. But the average artist finds themselves between the months of particularly, September and December, kind of legit looking like, wow. Even if you had a great year up until this point, you will find that unless you are approved for fellowships and artist calls and all those things that are announced typically around third quarter, around September, around October, that you may be in a space and really be surrounded by the illusion of scarcity and lack. And I say the illusion because I fully believe that there's enough for everyone. But the reality is, if you're having difficulty eating, paying your bills, clothing your kiddos, like, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And I speak from experience. I speak because it is something that is really important to my heart to ensure that creative people are supported. I think the world often normalizes the work that we do so much so that they don't see it as having extraordinary value, unfortunately. There are people who do see it as having value, and oftentimes those are your collectors. Those are the people who you can call on, who support you, who check in even when you're not doing a show, and those are extraordinary people who have a heightened sense of awareness. But the average person is not legit saying, I need to buy a gift for a colleague or for my office. Let me find an artist and have them create handmade collage pieces or something for the wall. It's just not happening unless you live in a space where that's the culture. So what we're doing, with these workshops that I'm hosting and teaching over the next several weeks, is really attempting to shift energy and to build capacity and create conversation around what it means to really support creative people and why it's important. When you wake up in the morning, as I often say, the first thing you do is possibly listen to music, your favorite playlist, meditate, pray, have a cup of tea, put on that favorite garment, do something with your hands. Your very steps in the morning have connections, deep connections to art and to creativity. Even if you don't have a morning routine, maybe you're someone who wakes up and you're consistently hitting the snooze button and you're just like, this day. Well, when you get in the car or when you get on the bus and you have your headphones on, you listen to that song, that's energy. That's creative energy. That's artistry. Someone literally had to manifest and take from their spirit this thing. They created this thing. So again, because it's been normalized, because the arts and creativity are a part of everyone's day, I think oftentimes people overlook the importance of them. Well, now that you're aware, because we just had this conversation, you can commit to shifting energy. You can commit to making monthly donations to the artist in your world that is blessing you, buying their work, supporting their work. If you're in a place of financial discomfort yourself or insecurity, you can still share. If you're watching this video, then you have access to social media, babe. So that means you can legit share. It takes nothing to say, I follow this artist. I think their work is extraordinary. I know them as a person. Their heart comes through in each piece. They have a beautiful family. They're doing this for the community. Like, you'd be surprised how far your word will go. And again, I talk about this often. Don't like something if you're not supporting something. And yes, I did say that because a lot of us have, likes and all these things that in theory make you feel good for a moment, but none of that converts to sales or support. A few years ago, I had a really extraordinary year where I made the news every quarter in a year. I made national news, I made international news, I made regional news, and I made the news within my local community. It was just an extraordinary year, much like the year I just had. I just made national news 3 times over the past 2 months. And while that definitely blesses you and creates visibility around your work and what you're doing, if that does not convert to sales of your art, if that does not convert to partnerships, to help you leverage the work to earn a living doing this work, then it's nothing more than just feel-good pieces. Now, I value media, I value press, and I have a high respect for people working in journalism. That was my original major when I went to college many years ago, before I fell in love with history and intercultural engagement and ultimately majored in that. But I grew up around people who were writers, who were editors, who were educators, published and unpublished. And I value the written word. Media definitely has value because it documents something. It shares it. It's a blessing. And if you don't have a relationship with local people in the media, I encourage you to facilitate their relationship with an email, with a call, and definitely get that going. But beyond that, if you don't know how to take that story, that notice, that like, that mention, and leverage that for an opportunity, it's not serving your business necessarily. So while that's great, we're going to talk about in this workshop how you actually do those things. I'll be hosting these workshops at Hope Tank next month. Yes, yes, yes. And again, Erica Ryder, much love to Erica Ryder. She is, of course, the owner of Hope Tank. We're located in the beautiful historic neighborhood, Whittier neighborhood in Denver. So I'll be doing these workshops in person. I'll also do a few tape ones if you request them. If you like to go ahead and just reserve your spot, I can do a one-on-one with you. We can have a clarity call. But the reason I'm doing these workshops in person is because I know that there are going to be questions that you'd like to have answered in real time, and I want to provide that value for you. The workshops will take approximately about an hour to an hour and a half. So I'm actually scheduling those right now. The only group workshop I'll be doing next month, as of right now, is for my creative action planning process. Because if you don't have a plan for next year, honey, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to be. That workshop will be $75 and will be on December 17th. It is essential that you have a plan as an artist. It is essential that you know how to fund and support your business. So these will definitely have value. So if you would like to schedule your funding session, let me know and we can schedule that one-on-one funding session. As mentioned before, originally I was going to do a whole group funding session, but I recognize that different people have different needs. So funding sessions right now are only $50. This is a significant savings because I know if you're in need of a funding session, your funds may be low. So I want to honor you in this season because I've been there. Additionally, if you'd like to work with me, we can talk about that. I am actually reaching out and taking on 10 creative clients for the next year. And these are people who are looking to go the distance in their business, and they will get the benefit of my 20 plus years of experience in working in this sector. So I look forward to answering those questions. If you're looking to work with me, it's very important that you let me know by the close of business this Friday, because I will begin shifting energy for the next year. So I hope that you're watching this video in real time, and I hope that you are mindful of these cool opportunities. So that's the Funding Your Creative Business workshop that's coming up. That's also the Creative Action Planning workshop that's coming up. And again, if you're in the Denver metro area and you're watching this video in real time, which is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, come see me for Black Art Friday. It is a beautiful celebration of Blackness and a Black Friday holiday shopping experience. So come through. We'll have note cards. We'll have art prints. I'm surrounded by art goodies, and let me tell you, I have something for every price range. I have things starting at $25, and then they go on up and up depending on the scale of the work that has been created. So thanks for watching this short video. Remember that I am here as a resource, not just to create work and partner with you in your business, but also to help you if you're creative and to support you. I appreciate you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Remember to visit duplessisart.com for all the latest information on what we're doing, how we're showing up, and how we are serving through our artistry. God bless.